Yeah, I finally saw this movie. It actually came out the same weekend as Black Panther Wakanda Forever, but it was a limited release, and the only movie near me that was playing it was like downtown. I'd have to pay for parking, no thanks. So I waited for the wide release. Now I've seen it, so let's talk about it. The Fabelmans. So The Fabelmans is directed by Steven Spielberg, and I guess it serves as kind of a fictionalized account of his young life. It's like semi-autobiographical, I guess. It takes place in the 50s. The movie focuses on a family, the Fabelmans, more specifically this kid, Sam. As he's growing up, he develops this love for movies. And so he gets a camera and he starts shooting little home movies with his sisters. And his hobby grows and grows. He brings it to his friend groups. He starts shooting movies with his friends. Turns out he really has a talent for filmmaking. So how are his parents going to react to that? How are his peers going to react? What's it going to do for this kid? And here we go with our movie. Now, first off, I gotta say, this film's got a pretty legit cast for the most part. I gotta give all sorts of props to the kid who plays Sam. Gabriel LaBelle is his name. I've never seen him before, but I hope I see him in more stuff because I thought he was excellent. He comes off as kind of shy and awkward around other people, including his own family at sometimes. Like, you get the feeling he's probably on the spectrum somewhere. He just has this love for filmmaking that just shines through. He is his true self. He's the most comfortable when he's behind a camera. It's like he transforms into another person. I thought that was really cool to see. Paul Dano plays his dad, Bert. And Paul Dano, as an actor, he's really hit or miss with me. Sometimes he's alright, other times he's in Love and Mercy, which I hated. In this movie, though, I thought he was pretty good. And Seth Rogen is in this movie. I didn't even know that until I saw it, and even then, it took me a couple of minutes to recognize him. I was like, oh my god, that's Seth Rogen. Wow, he's so thin. I mean, we usually know Seth Rogen as being the kind of pudgy, awkward guy, usually in comedies. But this movie, being a drama, Seth Rogen really got to flex his acting muscles. I actually thought he was really good. This is probably the best I've ever seen him, if I'm being honest. I love it when actors who are known for being in comedies get to flex their acting muscles by being in dramas. Like Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting. He won the Oscar for that, deservedly so.
We've gotten a little off topic.
You're right, back to point. Seth Rogen was really good. The one character who actually brought this movie down for me, I hate to say, is Michelle Williams as the mom, Mitzi. I don't know what it is about her. I haven't seen her in too many things, but from what I've seen her in, she hasn't impressed me. I know, she's a Golden Globe winning actress. I haven't seen the things she won the award for. But in this movie, I'm just gonna put it plainly, I thought she was quite bad. Cause she overacted a lot. There's a scene where she gets a phone call in the middle of the night, she picks up the phone, she's like, Mama, Mama. I don't know, for me, it was almost a laughable scene. I was like, this is not landing with me. It was weird. And unfortunately, that's not the only laughable scene in the movie. There's this one girl that Sam meets in high school. She's like a crazy religious nut. I didn't like her either. And there's a scene where she's going off on this huge tangent. I was like, oh my god, I would run out of the room screaming. I would be like, nope, all the red flags, I'm out. I am out of here. I mean, I don't care what religion you follow. Just don't try to rub it in my face like that. And don't try to get me to join it either. No, you don't, no. I really say this because a big part of the movie is the fact that the Fabelmans are Jewish, and they follow a lot of Jewish customs, which for a lot of it, I felt like I was looking at my own family in the mirror. I mean, not to get too personal or anything, but I grew up in a Jewish family. So some of these scenes where they're sitting with their relatives, it reminded me of when I would go to visit my relatives for Thanksgiving or something like that. I resonated with that. I was like, all right, yeah, I mean, I connect with the movie that way. Is it somewhat cliche for a Jewish person to love movies? Sure. But hey, I ain't apologizing. And also, the movie is shot very well. I mean, this being a Steven Spielberg movie, that's no surprise. And for the first time ever, I'm gonna give praise to the director of photography, the legend Janusz Kaminski, who is pretty much the John Williams of cinematography. He's been in the business for decades, he's a frequent collaborator with Spielberg. The man is just a master of his craft. I mean, some of the shots in this movie, I was like, that was beautifully set up. The lighting, the blocking, the design of everything, it was beautifully shot. I just really noticed that in this film. And it's all because of the Janusz. So the movie's going along, it's kind of dragging a little bit in parts. It is a pretty long movie, it's 2.5 hours. I did check my watch twice throughout the film. I mean, I did think about it, this is a drama. It's not trying to go for a fast, exciting pace. So I get that it's gonna be slow, but it did drag a couple times. There is such a thing as a drama being too slow. Not that it completely lost me, because it didn't. I just did have to address it. And there are some parts of the movie that felt, I guess cliche is the word. There's a point where Sam is transferred to a new school and he gets bullied, and I was like, alright, we're doing the school bully thing. Then again, this is an account of someone's life, fictionalized I guess, but it still is. I don't know if Spielberg was actually bullied in high school. There is a great meta joke that comes with that though. It was like one of the highlights of the film for me. Got a pretty big laugh. I've heard the topic come up that the movie might be a little self-indulgent, because it's like Steven Spielberg going, oh, look at me, I'm making a movie about myself and my life. And I get it, but then again, I can let it slide because it's Steven freaking Spielberg. I think he's entitled to it at this point. He's deserved it. He's one of the best filmmakers in the business. He's been at it for decades. He's a legend. I think he's allowed to make a movie about his own life. He's hit that status where it's okay. Or at least that's my argument. As for the music, the score was done by good old Johnny W. John Williams strings do a lot of good work here. And also there's a lot of classical piano because Michelle Williams' character plays piano. So there'll be scenes where it's just piano in the background. There's actually a lot of those. And they work for the movie, sure. They kind of add to the atmosphere and tone of this movie being a somewhat high-class drama. I mean, this movie's probably going for the Oscar season, let's be honest. And the music really added to that vibe. Not bad. Not exactly my jam, but it worked for the movie. So in the end, The Fabelmans, I feel like I bagged on it more than I probably should have. I enjoyed the movie. It was a really good peek into the life of Steven Spielberg's youth, without actually being Steven Spielberg's youth. I commend Gabriel LaBelle, he's the best part of the movie. Paul Dano was good, Seth Rogen was great, just Michelle Williams was not, at least not in my opinion. It's shot really well, it's a feel-good movie. There were some laughable parts for me, I can't deny that. There were just some parts of the movie that didn't work. But then there are a lot of parts of the movie that did work. More things worked in the movie than what didn't. For The Fabelmans, I will say, go see this movie while it's in theaters. So The Fabelmans, have you seen it yet? What are your thoughts on it? And what is your favorite Steven Spielberg movie of all time? That's a good question. If you say Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, you're getting coal in your stocking for Christmas. Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Peace!